Through stories of the past and present, two writers are on a quest to explore the rich cultural heritage of this wonderful part of Montana known as Musselshell County. This is Meanderings Along The Musselshell.
Hello, I'm Grandmother Sage.
And I'm Buck Barkley.
Today we are going out to Kenny's house to film in Old Blue, the car he was driving at the time of today's story.
My Terrible Night of Crime by Kenny Davis. The saying goes, I didn't choose the thug life chose me. I understand that saying now. I didn't choose a life of crime. I only got sucked into it because my car decided to become a pirate. My only plans last Wednesday night were for a quiet evening at home. I had been getting some work done on the paper and it was starting to get dark, which meant I needed to go over to my parents' house to get my dogs and bring them in for the night. Since I don't have my yard fenced or kennels built yet, I take my dogs to spend time in their outside pens at my parents' during the day when it's nice. So I get into my car, I'm just cruising down Main Street, listening to the radio, and all of a sudden, a row of flashing lights goes off in my rearview mirror. I immediately glanced down at the speedometer and saw that no, I was still going about 25. I pulled over, somewhat confused. Long story short, I had a headlight out. The deputy was nice about it. He gave me a verbal warning and told me to get it fixed in the next day or two, and sent me on my way. So I picked up the dogs, and I figured to avoid any further trouble, I would go home the back way. So there I am, cruising down 4th Street West with the radio playing. Next thing I know, there's a row of lights flashing in my mirror. This time it's like, really? So I pull over again. It is, of course, a different deputy, and my ferocious guard dogs do not like the idea of this strange man approaching the car, which overall is comforting and makes me feel safe, but in the present moment it makes it a little hard to hear. The officer simply asked me if I had just gotten pulled over for having a burned out headlight. I said that I had, and apparently the other deputy had just told him about it as he was getting out of his car, so he just gave me a once-over and sent me on my way. And so the next day, my dad and I learned how to change a headlight bulb, and thus ended my life of unintentional crime. Old Blue and I are now both reformed and ready to take our place in society as good, upstanding citizens. That is, unless the other headlight decides to go out. In all seriousness, though, the whole thing gives me confidence in our law enforcement. The fact that I was caught both coming and going shows that they're out there, both on Main Street and the back roads, doing a good job of keeping an eye on what's going on in our community. Yes, it's a little inconvenient to get pulled over, but it's a comfort to know that they're out there working to keep our community safe. Just something to think about.
For more of Kenny's writing, check out his book, Riding the Range, Volume 1, and read his column each week in the Roundup Herald. Next time, join us for a story about two sisters who walked all the way to Musselshell.